Hey, what's going on YouTube? David Connor Bach for GT Bach G Time. You may be wondering, if this is going on my G Time playlist, then why aren't there any clock towers in the area? Well, this is actually the first for the G Time edition where I do a watch review. The watch I'll be reviewing today is actually one I had since 2018. It's a very popular brand by Casio, and it's actually part of the ABC watch. The background of ABC watches is basically like altimeter, barometer, and compass. There are lots of ABC watches out there, and today I will be reviewing my perspective of the Casio ProTrack PRW-3500. I also have the Casio ProTrack PRG-600-1, but that'll be for another video. But today, we're looking at the PRW-3500. I'm unsure the dimensions of this watch, but I'm just going to tell you the obvious with appearance. You have a nice stainless steel bezel. It does have black markings, but unfortunately it's an old watch, so it ended up losing a lot, but there's very few scratches on the display. I mean, you can barely see it, but the stainless steel bezel can still turn. It's a little hard to turn, but it's doable. So that actually helps with your compass. You have a light button, which I will do a light review in this video, and then you have 3 buttons on the right side, and then coming towards the back there's a sensor area for the barometer, and then the mode and adjust button. Moving on to features, as mentioned, there's a ABC triple sensor, which is actually one of the premium technologies that Casio has incorporated. The first triple sensor watch was actually back in the 1995 area, latter half of the 1990s. And since then, there's been an evolution with Casio's triple sensor. This one is equipped with triple sensor version 3. So I'm going to start off with the altimeter. It shows 845 feet. Unfortunately, that is not correct. I have not been keeping up with the altitude of the altimeter, but it has a graph which will show the differential, and you have the capability to change it to actually show you the number of altitude that you have climbed. Next feature on this watch, we are moving on to the barometer. The barometer is very useful in my area, especially because we have a lot of storms, especially during the monsoon season, and it just helps me in general. The thermometer, it's about 78 in here, so it's just a little bit off. But here's graph that shows you the barometric pressure. It can actually give you a good idea of the pressure. If the graph shows down, like if it's going downward every couple of hours, that's how it measures. Is 1 dot represents 2 hours, and basically if it goes down, then the weather is more than likely to have some cloudy rain storms, but if it goes up, the weather is more than likely to improve. Moving on, digital compass. I am currently facing west, so that's about correct. Basically, there's nothing about the compass. Pressing this button turns on bearing memory. It's like This dot right here tells you if you're heading in the right direction to where you want to be heading, and then this is just your north. So moving on to the home screen, it shows the time with seconds, alarm and snooze, power save, PM, seconds, and battery. This top section can be changed, so currently it's on the date. And then if you press it, there's your barometric graph. And then press it again, it shows the day, like the name of the day of the week and the day of the month. Sunrise and sunset. It's 6:40. So sunrise was at 6:49 this morning, and then sunset was just a bit ago. You do have to set the sun, so like if you're traveling a lot, then you have to have your geographic coordinates to where you are in order to set it to the correct sunrise and sunset. But if you are a frequent traveler and you also need to know the sunrise and sunset, it is doable to change it as long as you have an idea where you are in terms of the longitude and latitude. Records, I haven't had many records, but this is for your altitude. So basically, when you're in the altitude mode, you press the altimeter button and it will save a record. And this is useful for if you're staying at a place overnight, then you set it, and then when you wake up, because the barometric pressure, the altitude and the barometer are linked to the same sensor, so when the barometric pressure changes, so will the altitude. So if you want to remember your altitude and you're staying at a place overnight and you need to have a constantly correct measurement, then you can set a record, and then when you wake up in the morning before you go, you can set the altitude back to the correct measurement. Moving on to our next function, the stopwatch. This is a 1/10 of a second stopwatch. I'm gonna go ahead and show you. Start, split, disable split, split, stop, reset. So that's basically the stopwatch. It measures up to 24 hours as far as I know. That's what I think it does anyway. It could be, I could be wrong. There was one time where it showed 27, so I may be wrong. Timer, you can set this thing for 24 hours at the most. If you want a 24-hour timer, then you just go to 0, and basically that will be 24 hours. Alarms, this thing has 4 regular alarms and 1 snooze alarm, as well as an hourly beep that goes off on the hour. I have the alarms set for when I wake up in the morning. And after world time, after alarm is world time, you have a lot of different time zones. Too many to count. You have full control of DST. You can set it to many different time zones. And basically world time is self-explanatory. Moving on from the world time, you go into your radio receiver mode. The radio receiver, this is Casio's patented multiband 6. And basically select watches that Casio produces has the multiband 6. And what it does is every night between midnight and 5 o'clock in the morning, it will turn on a antenna, which is located up here on this particular model, and that signal can receive a time update from a signal up in Fort Collins, Colorado, at least where I am. There are other signals across the globe, including Germany, China, Japan, and UK. There's 2 signals in Japan, and depending on where you are, you'll be able to receive the signal and keep your watch up to time. This is actually part of the atomic clock, which is in Fort Collins, and basically all kinds of different clocks and watches have that feature, including the PRW-3500. So moving back to the time, that's basically all the different features. Before we do go on ending this video, there's a few things I want to talk about. So I'm going to give you my perspective on this watch. I've had it for 4 years. I had it since 2018, so over 4 years, coming on 5. This watch was given to me for a birthday gift, and it was also an early Christmas gift. I've had this watch for part of high school, and it works great. When I have been able to receive a good time, like I can use the stopwatch when running the track, or I can use the timer when we need to set timers for any projects that we do. Also the barometer, I've had it. I use it a lot, the barometer, especially during the monsoon season. The barometer has a storm barometric tendency alarm, and sometime I have that set so any barometric pressure changes, it'll alert me. There is quite a few different times where it came useful in measuring the weather. There was one time where in January 2021 there was a huge hailstorm, and the barometric pressure alarm went off about 30 minutes before the worst of the storm hit. I've also been able to use this watch on many different occasions for trips. The multiband 6 helps me to update my time zone if we stay at move time zones, so that really helps a lot, and it's a very great watch. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and do the light shots, the view on my wrist, so you can see what it looks like on my wrist. I have a very skinny wrist, and it fits great. So that's all coming up. Okay, so this is what it looks like. You are currently looking at my left wrist. It's pretty good. It's nice and not that snug, but obviously to let air through your skin, and obviously to not over tighten the band. But it looks good. Every time I shift my wrist, it doesn't move that much, which is a good thing. And I really like these guards with the buttons. It's like if you were to move your wrist and your watch goes against your wrist, then it won't falsely start a button, like push a button, which is a good thing. But it's very clean, especially because my wrist is kind of skinny. So, alright. Okay, so this is the LED for the PRW-3500. There's two LEDs on the left side of the watch. It lights it up pretty good. You may notice that one side is slightly brighter than the other, but it's no big deal. This thing also has a auto light, so like if you press your light button, hold it, it will do a light button, and then if you were to turn your watch towards you, then it would turn on. So that's basically the LED system of the PRW-3500. That, ladies and gentlemen, this has been my first watch review for my YouTube channel. I have a lot of other watches I plan on sharing with you guys. Several other Casios that I plan on sharing with you. So if you're into Casios, then please like and subscribe. And I'll see you next time I post a Casio watch review. Please comment down below what you think. And until next time, peace out.